So we're coming back, we're going to talk a bit about food, but particularly quality of food, and then we're talking about, you know, toxins and things like that. So again, when I met you, you knew a lot about food, and I think you grow some of your own food.
I do my best. Doesn't always work.
You can only try.
That's right, but I love growing my own food.
And why do you choose to even try and grow your own food?
I just do know that there are a lot of sprays and other things that are chemically related that go onto our food these days, and I felt that they were disrupting my hormone levels. So I made a conscious effort to try and buy organic foods.
So how did you come across this information? I mean, it's not common knowledge, really.
It isn't common knowledge, and I actually came across it in a podcast.
Interesting.
Funnily enough, where I heard you.
That podcast. I think
Yeah.
that was Thriving in Menopause.
Yes,
We talked about those
absolutely.
things. So you knew a little bit about it, that these toxins, and we call them chemicals, or probably the bigger word is endocrine disruptors, because it's our endocrine system, that is the hormonal system.
Yeah.
They actually are, and it's proven, getting into our body and affecting our hormones. So you got menopause going on, now you got all this other stuff
Adding to it.
So you decided to go really clean with your own food, and then you were buying organic.
Yes.
Sort of where possible.
Where possible. It's not always possible. And let's face it, life can get in the way. You need to produce a quick meal, the kids are hungry, husband's come home from work, someone turns up for dinner. Sometimes it's not always possible, but just trying to make those little shifts where you can, I think is important.
I think a little bit, and just that knowledge, it can go, you know, a long way. So I guess, you know, when we were saying you do as much as you can when you can, you then get told about these endocrine disruptors in your personal care products, like in your makeup, your deodorant, and your toothpaste, and all that sort of stuff.
So and I had no idea about any of that until speaking to you.
Okay, so I guess once you know about it again, it gives you that power. And, you know, we always say, don't go and throw everything out. Just become aware.
Yeah.
You know, we've got this toxic Dakota list that we provide. And then when you're buying a new product, you just buy something that's cleaner and safer, and you're not just adding to that, you know, on one level. How have you found that transition of changing over to safer products?
Again, I think it's just taking that little bit of extra time and making that decision to try and find a product that fits all your needs, I think is very important. I
think, you know, with the environmental impact happening these days, there are a lot more of safer products because they are trying to reduce carbon footprint. So I'm very happy with that whole change, that there are a lot more choices of safer products out there as well. But if we're just going to jump back quickly to the food, and we know it is not possible to eat organic all the time.
Yes.
I came across this thing, and I don't know if I talked to you about it. It's called the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. So what it is, it's out of the fruit and vegetables that you use. It's the ones that are the highest contamination of the chemicals and pesticides and fertilizers. So they're saying those category of the Dirty Dozen, if you're going to eat them, you've got to go organic. Okay? And with that, they have the Clean 15. So they tell you the cleanest ones. So our nutritionist here at Absolique has recently done the Australian equivalent research of that just the last month. So we have this new document available, and we can email it out to you. You have our email address later on. So it gives you a whole list of this Clean 15 and Dirty Dozen, which helps you at the supermarket to make the right choices, but stick within budget and be able to feed the family as well.
Well, that's what we need.
Yeah, I think all that every little bit helps.
Absolutely.
In there. Okay, so I think we're done with food and toxins. I think it's probably time we're going to talk about